What's up, NeoGenesis family? Tommy here outside on the track. We don't have access to a real track in Mondo, so we do it on the gravel today. It's gonna be a little bit slower than what we could do on a big and better surface, but it's okay. We never complain. We do what we have to do. This is the closest I have to a track, so this is what we're gonna be using today. So the session today is mainly a very short, but it's a very efficient way to train for speed, because you don't want to be training for speed while exhausted. You want to have your full tank. You want to be able to produce 100% effort. So this is what we're going to try to achieve today. So follow along, guys. I think this session is going to be very good for you, because obviously the goal is not only to be strong in the gym, but also have a good, ability to sprint and be fast and be elastic and move through space. So it's not just the aesthetic of things. You want to be able to perform, and if ever you're an athlete, you want to be able to be as strong as you are fast. So this is what we're trying to achieve. So follow along, guys. Let's go. The goal of those pogo jumps was to go as high as possible, and then when you land, you don't want to have no knee flexion, so no knee bend. You just absorb everything through the toes. The same way as when you sprint, you want to be as stiff as possible. So you don't need a lot of reps. You just need to be very efficient. You reach for the clouds, and then when you land, you try to minimize the knee bend. For me, the first rep was hard, because I'm telling you, like, your nervous system is not really ready to absorb that much force when you're that high, and then you use no knee flexion. But this is what we're trying to achieve. Now, the next thing we're gonna do, guys, to prime the nervous system will be to fall and sprint. So the falling starts, and we're gonna start for a distance of about 10 yards. We don't have no marks here, but we're gonna go for about 10 yards, all right? So this is the next exercise up on the list. But the main focus of the falling start is really to snap out of the movement, all right? You wanna be as snappy as possible. It's 0 to 100, the fastest you can. So let's do it. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy for me, as you know, I've been mainly training in the gym, not necessarily exerting 100% of my, strength or force. So I do feel it in my hamstrings when I try to push. So I need to be careful, as it is something I am trying to prevent. I don't want to get injured. A hamstring injury is going to prevent me from doing a lot of other things. So I need to be intelligent. But obviously, being on the gravel, not wearing cleats or spikes is helping, because there's less force on the hamstring. But I do have that little feeling. So guys, if you're an athlete, and obviously it's not an advice I followed myself a lot, but go and seek, those therapists that can help make your body loose. And this is probably something, though, in the near future I'm going to try to experiment, because I've never done it. And I think that it's preventing me from actually reaching a higher level of performance. So same thing. I think the second rep's going to be a little better. Something interesting about the human body is that it requires so much, coordination. Like, everything needs to be synchronized to the best. And I'm still very disappointed at the same time, because even though there's an actual lightning going through your body, when we run, we're not the fastest, beings on this planet. So it's sad, but it's worth trying to be better. So guys, here normally we use benches, from teams that they let on the side of the field. Since we don't have access to one, I replaced it by a vertical leap. Then when I land, I try to accelerate as fast as possible. It's not really easy on the gravel, but we're still trying to get that reaction, like ground contact, minimized to the maximum, and then the acceleration. So, but it's slippery a little bit. Now we gotta relax, because we don't want to do things exhausted. They need to be recovered. This one I can actually say was better than the other ones just by the feeling of the speed. So it was more fluid and better. Push it to the limit. Ready? Guys, now we're doing single leg bounds, trying to be as stiff as possible and also minimize the ground contact. So we're going for a bit over 10 yards as I want to get about 10 bounds per legs. And I'm telling you right now, it's not something easy for me because like all of the force gets through my body, my muscles, to the ground and comes back to my body. So as I am heavier than I used to be, I have to get used to that new reality. Whew. This is not easy, guys. It's very special. This body of ours has been created to do things a certain way. And like when you do similar things slightly differently, if it's not practiced, it's very, very hard. So like think about this movement as something very good to improve coordination, produce more force. Like you can't cheat because when you run, it's like you go from one leg to the other, going back to the other leg. So you don't have to produce as much force as when you do only one leg because that one leg has to like do everything by itself. So I think it's a hard challenge for me at this point. And I've been doing it, but I just realized how not enough it was. So I need to do more of these in the future, not today. So we're gonna go up to the next drill. Whew. So guys, now we're doing 10 yards maximal burst. So we're trying to get as fast as possible across the line. We're timing it, but not because we have the exact spot, but just trying to beat a number. Sometimes gonna motivate your brain to push it a little further. The thing though, my first one seemed to have been faster than the second one. So the third one I'm gonna do now, or fourth one, gonna try to beat myself. And I think I know what to do in order to be able to do so. So let's try this. Guys, now what we're gonna try to do, not try, this is what we're gonna do, is work on the transition phase. So the 10 yards, 10 to 15, you think about pushing, getting up to those 10 to 20 yards, you try to be transitioning into cycling because we're working on like pure speed today. So we're gonna just focus on the smaller distance, but with a very high intensity. So 10 yards, I'm pushing, 10 to 20, I'm gonna try to transition and then relax. And then after that, it's gonna lead us to the main feast, which is gonna be the 40-yard dash for 2 reps. And then we're done. So we have 3 reps of those 20 yards. We're gonna try to keep it, you know, as good as possible. And then after that, see where it takes us. Now we're done with the workout. It was just enough, I must admit. My body is aching a little bit because I've pushed it to the max. I wanted to have the best and highest quality possible, which I think I achieved today. There's so many things I have to work on. Like technically, for sure, I am not a pure sprinter. The only thing I'm trying to get here is really a good, melting pot of me being bigger, stronger, and now trying to be faster. I think that overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the melting pot we achieved today, because this is where it gets hard in general. Is it's not about being a specialist, like you could be specialized in the strength aspect, the lifting part, but then you never pay attention to the running, the sprinting. And this is one of the like capacity or capabilities we lose super fast as we age and as we go forward in life, because like you don't necessarily need in this modern society to keep those capacities. So for me, I'm still trying to chase the peak, which I think sometimes is non-existent, because the peak is just a matter of perspective. Like if you never worked out a day in your life, if you start today, then your peak's gonna be tomorrow. But in my case is, yes, it's harder to do it today, but I'm still trying to achieve more with more muscle maturity, more mental also maturity, the resilience to know that when it hurts sometimes, okay, you're just not gonna stop working out. You're just gonna do something a little less longer, but with a high intensity, so you're still gonna reap some type of gains. So for me, it's really about trying to stay able to do things. If by example I have to run, I see a kid on the other side of the street that needs help, if I need to tap in those capacity, I want to be able to do it. And other than that, guys, what I would advise you to do is really just take care of that body of yours. You only have one. We only have this short span of time called life to take care of it and enjoy it. So you must try to push it, learn from it, and have good sensations with it. And it's your first vehicle, so just use it because it's a beautiful machine. And yeah, adapt every workout you do according to your capacity. Like you start somewhere and then you put one more block, and as fast as you blink, then you have a pyramid. So take care, guys. It was very a pleasure to show you what we've done today. I'm more than happy, but a little bit tired. So I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Yeah.